there, everyone, and welcome to A Guide to Your Guide, where we go over our annual SIP Field Guide. Just like the last 2 years, the SIP is sending out its annual SIP Field Guide mailing. To go along with it, this presentation will break down the field guide, cover grant basics, and highlight important changes coming in the 2019 grant year. So on the right-hand side, you can see a breakdown of what is included in the field guide. Hard copies of the field guide will be landing in mailboxes in early June. Two copies were sent to the secretary and one to the exalted ruler. You can also access a copy at enf.elks.org/2019guide. And so right now I will take you to the field guide and how to access it online. So if you just go to elks.org/CIP, or if you're on elks.org, you can go to Elks National Foundation, then Community Investments, and then on the left-hand side, under CIP Resources, there's a button that says SIP Field Guide. If you go there, it will take you directly to this nifty little guide that we've created with you all in mind. And it's just full of helpful information to guide you through the grants process. We hope it makes it easier and more fun to get through it all. Okay, so first are the basic do's and don'ts of the grants process. These are just the basic guidelines, and they are included in the first few pages of the field guide. Grants should vaguely follow IRS-defined charitable categories. These categories right here on the screen are ones that the grants should follow. Relieve the poor, distressed, or underprivileged, advance education, but not through scholarships, lessen the burdens of government, combat juvenile delinquency, eliminate prejudice and discrimination, lessen neighborhood tensions. Remember, applications must be submitted before the project takes place, and active projects are always best. And here are just a few of the don'ts. We don't have many things that you can't use grants for, but here are the ones that you can't. No grants can be used for fundraisers, no general community events, poster and essay contests. They cannot directly benefit lodge members and their families, and they cannot be used for state major projects or national elk programs. Since we have a large scholarship program, they cannot be used for scholarships, they cannot be used for award nights or appreciation meals, they cannot be used for lodge maintenance or repairs, and they cannot be used for hoop shoot or soccer shoot. We also have a budget guideline that no more than 10% of the budget can be allotted to administrative expenses. That includes promotion and publicity, such as t-shirts, paid newspaper advertisements, or other non-essential merchandise. So we do have some fun changes coming to the grants program this year. First, the Freedom Grants will be increased to 300 and available to lodges on a first-come, first-served basis. That means instead of everyone submitting within a 1-month window, everyone can submit whenever they want, and they're gone when they're gone. So if 300 are submitted and great applications by the end of August, then they're gone. If they're not until September, then you have until September. It works kind of the way that the Promise Grants work right now. Next, lodges that met the per member giving goal in 2018 can apply for a 2019 gratitude grant on July 1st. So in previous years, applying for a gratitude grant and the per member giving goal were based on prior year. So in order to apply for a grant in 2019, you would normally have to have met it, you would have to meet it in that year. You would have to meet it in that year. But now it is based on the prior year. And another fun surprise is that anniversary grants will be offered again in 2019. You can start off the next 150 years right by celebrating through service. And this is just a basic breakdown of all of our grants. You can find more detailed information about these in the SIP Field Guide or on our webpage. So gratitude grants are basically just to meet local needs. Beacon grants should be ongoing charitable activities that are lodge-led. And Promise grants are activities for youth Those are only available to the first 500 that apply on a first come, first served basis. So it works exactly the way the Freedom Grants work now as well. And Freedom Grants are for serving veterans. Impact grants are large-scale service projects, and anniversary grants, again for the second year in a row, are to celebrate through service. So here is a breakdown of our calendar. The grant applications this year are changing a little bit. As we transition to a grant year that aligns with a lodge year, this grant year will be shorter. All grant applications will open on July 1st, 2018 and close on December 31st, 2018. All 2018-19 grants need to be used by March 31st, 2019. And I know what you're thinking, what if I have a project in the summer? Well, luckily for you, that will be covered by the next year's grants, and you'll be able to use those will open immediately on April 1st, 2019, so you'll be able to cover those grants over the summer with those. That should only be a little bit of a snag for Beacon Grant people, but if you have any questions or if there are any specifics about your projects you want to talk about, just reach out to us. We're happy to help you during this transition year. So again, to reiterate, all grants will open on July 1st and close on December 31st. That's grant applications, and the projects must be completed by March 31st, 2019. Okay, and here are just some grant basics for those who aren't in the know. Only grants coordinators and secretaries have access to online applications. Secretaries have automatic access. Secretaries are also the only people able to appoint grants coordinators through CLMS. It's very easy. You just go to CLMS, go to the staff tab, and as long as you have an elks.org login, you can be appointed as a grants coordinator. And it can be more than one person. So no worries if a few people in your lodge want to help out with applying, that's great. Of course, this should all be with the approval from the lodge and exalted ruler. Okay, so next we're going to talk about our fancy new grants dashboard. We're super excited about this. It's kind of a one-stop shop for everything you can need grants-wise. So you can access everything online July 1st. This will not be live until July 1st, so don't go looking for it because it won't be there. But after July 1st, you can feel free to stop on by. It is just like the field guide, it is right there on that homepage, so elks.org/CIP, and then under SIP grants, you see it right here, it's grants dashboard. So click this link for all things grants, including 2018-19 applications and final reports. That's right, final reports will be online for the 2018-19 grant year. You can also view your prior applications from right here. So this is not a new feature, but it is all in one place, which makes it really neat. So you can see right here, view prior applications. You just click that and you'll be led to the prior applications page. And there are two columns. So you'll see there's an application column and a final report column. Application column is on the left. You can see all information about your application there. And the final report column is on the right. You can see all information about the final report forms that you'll be submitting there. This will only be for 2018-19 and beyond. It does not include past years, unfortunately, but this will be all for the future. Okay, so you can view, maybe you're thinking, well, how do I know what application or what final report form it is? On the very left-hand side, you can view grant components. So the type, the year, so it says right here, year 2018 grant promise. And then there's the status bar. It's right here. It's on the top of each column. And you have started, submitted, processed. Those will be checked as you go through. So if you started your application, it'll have a check mark in there. If you submitted it, it'll have a check mark, and processed will also have a check mark. Maybe you're thinking, well, what does process mean? Well, lucky for you, we also have a message bar, so you can view additional details regarding your Lodge's grant status. So process means that we've seen it, we've reviewed it, and maybe your grant application has been approved. Or right here, you might also view other messages that say grant application pending, needs follow-up. You'll be able to click right there, view your application, and see what the issue is. Instead of just sending an email, the email message will also be displayed right on the application, so you can see, oh, I guess I forgot to put how many people we're serving or how many elks will be involved. We hope that it's going to be nice and easy to use and makes everything a little bit more grant coordinator friendly. Okay, so as I mentioned before, this grant year is a transition year. So looking ahead to 2020, the SIP grant cycle will align with a Lodge year. So on April 1st, 2019, all grants will be available online. Please note that is a big change from all prior years and this year. Typically, grants open on July 1st, but now we're switching it up to make it align with the the Lodge year, so that it's easier for everyone. So they will open on April 1st, 2019, and all applications will be available online. All grant applications will close again on December 31st, 2019. So that closing date that we just introduced this year is staying the same. So April 1st, 2019, all grant applications will be available online. December 31st, 2019, all grant applications close. Then March 31st, 2020, all grant funds must be used and all projects must be completed. And then again, April 1st, 2020, all grant applications will close. So that's for the year after next. It's not for this coming year. For this coming year, all grant applications open on July 1st and close on December 31st. But that's just a little bit of reasoning why we're doing this change and what we hope to get out of it. So that was just a quick overview of the field guide. Definitely take a look at that field guide, see what there is to read up on some of our grant project ideas, click around the website, see what there is that you don't know about. But thank you so much for watching this webinar. And remember, all this information can be found at elks.org/CIP. And we do hope you go there because that's where much more detailed information is. If you have any questions or concerns, always feel free to email us at lodgegrants@elks.org or call 773-755-4730. Thank you.